Hey, Time Lords. Meeting got fucking cancelled. Like there was a key person who was not able to attend, so they were like, "Fuck it," they cancelled it. So yeah, back on stream. My dinner did arrive though, like 5 minutes ago. Yes, yes, I get it, Time Lord, I get it, I get it. What's up? Okay. Hmm. I mean, I still have limited time, a little more than before. I still have limited time though, because like I mentioned, like I have to leave by like 9 p.m. But yeah, hopefully we can solve this question in the meantime. Uh, fuck. Okay. Why is this having a problem? Because this is the new region, right? So region set gets okay, so it adds I region. I region in this case is just 11 to 13. Spider-Man fans, Spider-Man fans, when they see a movie with the word home in it. Yeah, I saw some like I saw an Indian meme is like एक क्या Spider-Man है कि taxi driver like it's like basically constantly keeps losing his way to his way home. Mumbai taxi drivers be like, oh man, like it was actually embarrassingly common for like taxi drivers in Mumbai to take wrong turns. I don't know why they did that. Like we used to um like people like there was it was just sort of like a local urban conspiracy that like they're probably doing it to jack up the meter rates, right? Because like if they drive for longer, you have to pay more. They are making a profit per mile, but it's like it's super small. Their expense obviously goes up as well, but like yeah, so uh, that, I don't know how true that is, but like it was embarrassingly common for them to miss a turn or something like that, and you're like, okay, shouldn't you know these areas by now? You know that kind of thing. Hmm. Okay. What is wrong with this question? Like, why am I not able to? So the first step will be 27 cubes. The second step will add 19. Do we have an overlap between any of these regions? That's what I want to know. There shouldn't be an overlap. So it's like 10 to 11, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. These are all non-overlapping, right? None of these have any overlaps between them. I don't think I should. This is correct, no? If we, yeah, because like it's like 10 to the initial region which we had was 10 to 12, 10 to 12, 10 to 12, right? So it's just sort of this cube. And there's this other cube which is 11 to 13, 11 to 13, 11 to 13. So it's like, it's just cutting off a corner of it. So we should be left with 7 pieces. Because if you take that corner, you can divide the cube into 8 pieces with that. And that should be 7 pieces that you have now, right? Cool. That's okay. Yeah, I'm back. My meeting got the meeting got cancelled. There was like a key stakeholder who had to be in the meeting and she was not available. Yeah, so she got caught up in some other urgent work. So she was not available, so meeting got cancelled. So I'm back. I'm back, but not for long. Not for long. Um yeah, I'm going for No Way Home. I'm going for no like watching No Way Home in about an hour's time, less than an hour's time, because like like friend of mine who I'm going with accidentally booked the ticket for today instead of tomorrow. We initially made a plan that like okay, I'll go after my 12-hour stream, and then like we'll go for a night show, and then he booked for 10 p.m. tonight instead of tomorrow. So that's where we are. So the good news with that is that my stream tomorrow is not really going to be restricted. So if it can go above 12 hours as well, which I don't really want it to, but it can. It's a possibility. Mm, Looking at the way these questions are going, I think I'll spend that time on one question. I have to solve like five or something. By the way, Deep Source still doesn't have any investors that own part of the company. Wait, what? Oh, so it's still like private. It's still private. It's not a. It's not gone public yet. No stock or whatever. Or like even if it were private, basically it just doesn't have any ownership clauses. It's not given away any portion of its company to the like of equity to the investors. Okay, that's okay. That's interesting. That's okay. It's a sign that they have a good product, I guess. If investors are still willing to invest, despite not really getting a. So what do the investors get actually if they don't have like ownership in parts of the company? What do they get? Just dividends? What are they getting? Art Flash, what's up? It's Y Combinator, right? But I don't know what it gets. Okay. Are we making a mistake in the summation function? Well, it seems like these seven regions are non-overlapping, bro. So we should have eight regions at the end of it, right? So if I go down one more step, we should have eight regions at the end of it. Yeah, we have eight regions now. So region set gets overlapped by that. Okay. Um, and if we go step over one step down, it now says sum of it dot cube counts is 83, which means that it only sounds like cube count is wrong, right? If you take the region, you want to sum every yeah. So cube count in the region is x dot size, y dot size. Is the size function wrong? Last minus first plus one. So region set um okay. Ooh, can I evaluate on this region something? Evaluate expression, show referring objects, mark object, set value, copy value. Wait, how do I do this? Um, what is zero dot cube count? No, sorry, cube count is not on the region. It's on the where is cube count? It is on the region. Any? Okay. Mm, so the cube count of that is 8. Evaluate for this. So it should be 8, 8 for everything except some of them. Oh, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind. It's not a plus 1, is it? Because if we have like no, 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 it has to be a plus 1. There is even if you have a range of where both of them are exactly the same value, it includes the cubes at the end of it, so it has to be a plus 1. Yeah, that's correct. So it's like 10 to 11 is 10. Wait, what? No, 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 that's not supposed to be 8. Yeah, 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 wait. That's just 10 and 11, right? So 10 and 11, 11 minus 10 plus 1, that's 2. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's 8. That's 8. That's correct. Mm. Oh, 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 right, 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 right. The regions do overlap. The regions do overlap. They overlap because they overlap on the edges alone. Ah, okay. How do we solve this question now? Okay. I have a feeling we can using some simple change, but we have to figure out how to do it. Contains needs to be updated. Contains needs to be updated. Less than or equal to and okay, or contains. Is that alone what needs to be updated? Wait, let's see. Mm-hmm. Overlapping edges do matter because the edges have these points and you have to count the number of points. So if you have two edges that overlap on a single point at the end, right? They overlap at a single point at the end. This point needs to be counted only once. But the problem is now if you consider the two regions separately, you want to count this point twice. You will count it once in region A, and yes, that's the problem. It's points, it's not segments. That's the problem. We need segments if we want to figure out the rest of the question. Like if we want to figure out the where to make divisions, etc., we need segments. But if we need the count, we need points. So when we mark the regions, we have to make sure that the regions don't have any overlap at all, that they are completely non-touching, right? They don't touch, essentially. That's what we have to make sure of. Affiliate, yeah. So as you can see quite clearly, nothing's changed. We're still horrible at solving questions. We're still horrible at solving questions. Hmm. What are you guys talking about? Oh my god, chat is popping off. Cricket today. Konsa was 7. Imagine going outside in 2021. Dude, like, honestly, it feels weird, man. It feels weird. Like, I don't want to go out. Or, no, wait. I phrased that wrong. I don't want to go to office, right? But I also don't really feel like a strong urge for going out. But I also do want to go out occasionally. Oh my god. Oh my god. Time Lord, thanks for the gifted sub. Holy shit. Mad Flash, you're sub now. Ah. Big boy, big boy. Dude, there was that fact raid from Anthony, which completely changed my plans for this. Time Lord loves my Python rant. Time Lord, what have you done? You've gifted a sub to the enemy. What have you done, Time Lord? Oh my god. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just in the middle of dinner and a whole bunch of things. Just wanted to be the first gifter. Nice. Like literally, what is this? Like Pokemon, Pokemon style Twitch badge collection, huh? Gotta catch them all. Like every single Twitch badge. You got the founder's badge. You've subbed and bought a gifted sub at this point. Hmm. It was a casual game, no wins, no losses. Okay, like you weren't keeping track of score. Because I was thinking even in a casual game, you will usually have one team winning. That's how cricket kind of works. But yeah, okay. If you don't keep track of score, that's a different thing. It's been a long time since I've played cricket, like IRL. It's been 10 years, approx. Like the last time I remember playing cricket was in school. I don't even think I played in college. In college we did other stuff, but I never got around to playing cricket. Nobody had a cricket bat or ball. Like no one was generally interested in cricket in college. It was weird. Like obviously people used to watch the matches and stuff, but apart from that, like not really. Like I don't know. Mm, go outside to attend classes. Oh my god, it's freezing as fuck outside. Be rather inside a blanket playing virtual tennis. Yeah, I mean it's super cold here, man. Like even over here in Bangalore, I can only imagine what it's like in MP. MP will be way colder than this. In Bangalore, it's pretty fucking cold right now. Like yesterday, I was on stream with a sweater. I was wearing a sweater the entire stream. I had my fans turned off and everything. I just left the windows, like sort of the window open for half the day, and that was enough. I was just super cold the entire day. It was freezing. I'm gonna be stuck the hardest on this question. I can already feel it. I don't think so. I don't think so. Once you get like a couple of simple insights, like it's pretty easy to do. The only problem with this question is it's like I can't visualize in 3D for Jack, right? I honestly like I struggle with this kind of overlapping nonsense. So it's like when I'm looking at these ranges, I'm not able to see in my head what that's like. If you have like a Python, like if it happens to have like a GUI library which is easy to use or something, because I just don't know how to use one in Kotlin. I should probably look that up. Like it'll be easier if you on the test examples if you could actually enable like a visualization. So that kind of lets you see a bunch of the stuff. But yeah, at this point, I've more or less solved the question. It's only the fact that the way I compute the cubes should change. There is a way I can do that though. There's a simple way I can do that right now without having to think about this stuff. There is a simple way I can do that. The way to do that would be to loop over XYZ for every range and to add in just once I have to do it, right? And to add in the cube to a set, and then I can return the count of the set. I can do that. But I don't know if that's going to be the smart way to do things because like the set is going to be super big, super big, right? And it's going to include all the points, and it's kind of gonna. I wouldn't say it negates all the effort we have done so far because we are only going to have to do it once at the end, which is fine. But also I feel like we could make it much simpler, the code. Like it would sort of defeat the spirit of the purpose of the code. Like what all we've done by keeping regions in mind, making sure the regions are non-overlapping, etc. We've done a lot of stuff. The only problem is, guess what? They are not non-overlapping. They actually do have overlaps. Now that I think of it, the overlaps always happen on the edges, right? Is there a way we can just detect that and count those once? I don't know. That's the problem. Like I feel like it's not a straightforward deal. Mm, that is weird. No cricket at college. I mean, yeah. I mean, in my 4 years of being there, I didn't see a single person do it. I didn't see anybody play cricket at college. Like not once. I haven't seen so much as a cricket bat or a set of stumps or anything. Like there might have been like stuff like people playing with like uh, exam pads and shit. You know what I mean, right? The support for the paper thing. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, there might have been like shit like that where people are just playing with like a rubber ball and the exam pads and in classrooms and corridors and stuff, but not exactly like cricket with a cricket bat. Like I haven't seen anyone. It was 8 Celsius 2 days ago. Oh my god, that's cold. That is damn cold. I mean, I know that there are people for whom that's like warm weather, but yeah, no, not for me. That's damn cold. Tamil Nadu is not cold at all. I have a fan on. Oh my god. Yeah. I'm so glad I'm out of that state, to be honest. I'm super glad I'm out of that state. Bangalore has a lot of downsides, but the weather is honestly enough to make up for like 90% of those. Like, yeah, 90-95% of those are cancelled out just by the weather. You still have some complaints, but the rest of it is just cancelled out completely by the weather. Used to up to high school, switched to basketball in college. Yeah, you have the frame for basketball, to be honest. You definitely have the frame for that. Python has matplotlib. It's awesome. Oh yeah. No, matplotlib is there. Oh, can matplotlib just do all these sort of what's this? Moose. What's that? Need to quickly plot something in Rustlang. Import the excellent matplotlib from Python. Wait, what? You can import matplotlib? Huh? Wait, what? What is this? Inline Python? Wait. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You can just write Python inline and it will work in Rust using this module, whatever this is, inline Python. Interesting. That's, huh, that's amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, we will eventually learn Rust. Mouse is actually really cool. It's 15 Celsius here. Right now it's 20. I don't know what it is here actually. Weather in Bangalore. Um, it's 21. It's 21. For me, that's cold, honestly. For me, that's cold. Like I have to turn the fans off. The floor starts freezing. I'm not comfortable with any of it. Like, I really like cold weather, but I can't stand it. Like, I'm not built for it. I grew up most of my life. I mean, I spent like all my entire early life in like a hot country. Um, and then even after I was in college, it was still like a high temperature state. And then that's kind of where I was for like 7, 8 years. So pretty much like a majority of my life has been like in temperatures of like exceeding 30 degrees Celsius most of the year, right? So given that, this starts feeling like really cold for me. I'm used to heat, but I hate it. I hate it. I like the cold, but I'm not used to it at all. So I'm just like, you know, there's no winning for me. There's no winning. By the way, let me just quickly check if my hmm, ZXPy is basically the same, but it runs bash inside Python. Right, 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 right. Macros are essentially blobs of text inside braces. It just takes the Python code, dedents it, and runs it. I see. Okay. So it's like, okay. I mean, I just find it impressive that that's like, you know, a feature in the language. It's pretty good, pretty good, pretty useful to have, as long as you don't misuse it, which is quite easy to do. Hmm. I'm glad that none of my chewing noises are being picked up by the mic. At least I think it isn't. The last thing I want this to be is an ASMR stream. I don't think it's a feature. It's probably a library. Oh, I see. No, but like the fact that the language lets you do this in the first place, like I'm struggling to think how you would have this run in Java, right? Without like having it open. Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Because Java doesn't have the concept of macros at all. So like the Java doesn't really have the concept of macros. So I guess like it's just not possible in Java because like the file won't really be a Java file once you do that. Because you can, I was thinking you can open like an out of process, like you can open like a separate process from the Java process, and then you do that. Never written Rust in my life, and I somehow guessed that URL correctly. Oh, it's a quite nice, like it's a nice URL. You know, like just lib.rs slash whatever the library's name is. It's quite good. Very intuitive. It was really a library. Right, right, right. Actually, when you think of it, it's not surprising that it's a library. Like, why would this be an inbuilt? There's like literally zero reason for this to be an inbuilt. It's not like Rust is famous for being good at working with Python or anything. Guess what? I'm a contributor to Pylint, Asteroid, and MyPy now. Wow, okay. Flaky it soon. Really good. Really good. I want to do some open source stuff potentially on stream. Um, I don't know. I have to figure out where to start with Kotlin. Let me see what, like, if there are any projects that are interesting written in Kotlin. Like, you know, it'll be fun to sort of go do a sort of an. These are all like ideas for content that I've been having. Like, just sort of do a um, more or less like an open source. Uh, pick an open source code base, read it, try to understand it, browse the source code, try and get like an idea of like how it works, and then make contributions, right? So like yeah, stuff like that. Like I just want to do that live. So it'll be interesting because like I feel like at this point in time, given just how much code I've been through at work, etc., I have that skill set because like initially it was horrible. It still is not going to be very good, but initially it was horrible. I used to get stuck on all sorts of things, just how to navigate the code, etc. Now I know that like Control Shift F is like the greatest tool for large code bases, because for the most part you are not going to find neat IDE connections between things, stuff like that. So yeah, I've gotten relatively better at it and better at just skimming and reading code and just being able to, quickly identify points of interest. So that'll be an interesting thing to do, I think, on stream. Control click on any variable for VS Code. Yeah, you can control click on this as well, like variables. I can control click for usages. I can do that. But in lots of cases, like for example, for our code base, I've told you about the reflections that we have all over the place, which means the IDE can't actually track that. because that's essentially raw text that's being taken and processed. So it's sort of like an eval that it's running. You can think of it that way. But yeah, there are reflections all over the place. You can't really do that a lot. But even if you could, it's usually a much slower way of finding different places in the code where you'll find similarities of certain things. Like if you have a large enough code base, you will have a lot of code duplication in a bunch of places, unless of course it's like really well maintained, which happens obviously from time to time. But you will find code duplications, etc., and it's kind of easy to find all of those things by just hitting Control Shift F. Like I find this is literally the best like tool for reading a code base. um it sounds weird, but it honestly is like, obviously I can't really do without the control click and all that stuff. I use that all the time, much more frequently, but that's how you get an entry point. I found that like Control Shift F, by looking at like, you just execute something, you look at the output of it, and from the output you search for a string, right, which is visible on the display. You search for a string, you find out where the string comes from, which process triggers that, and then you can work your way backwards. Yeah, that's kind of what you're forced to do on larger code bases. So yeah. Mm, okay. Mm, what do I want to do here? So now the problem is, when we go through this, we kind of have is on empty set, blah blah blah. We subtract I region, and so we end up with, if we look at this, x and x set, y and y set, z and z set contains region and doesn't contain. Okay, so contains, what's the definition, right? Each region should be less than or equal to. Should I just keep that as a less than and greater than? Because I feel like that may solve the problem, but it may also make it worse. We have a less than and there is another thing we can do. There is another thing we can do, right? We can we can consider only the we can consider only the number of cubes inside a particular region, excluding the edges, right? Excluding the edges as the cube count. So this excludes the edges, and then we create a set of all the edges alone. We create a set of all the edges alone, and then we consider the points along the edges, right? Or we essentially just, yeah, loop through every edge, as it were. Yeah, we can do that, right? Mm, yeah, we loop through every cube. We consider the points along the edges alone. That should help us solve the problem and should be a lot faster than actually iterating through the regions inside each cube, right? Especially if the regions are large, we can do that. So what we have to do potentially is, so int range.size, we can have that. That's okay, and that's the cube count. The cube count we're gonna have to change, right? Um, right. What we'll do is we will put this as Control Alt V X, uh, x.size.toolong. French Vanilla, thanks for the follow. How you doing? How you doing? French Vanilla X, what a name. Um, okay, so what we want is to exclude. So we want to exclude the ends at each step, right? So this is going to be -2, but at this point it can be that they don't have anything, So if you see the size, what's the minimum size? It's possible for it to be one, right? That it has nothing. So this thing x dot size dot too long minus two. Um, so if x dot size dot too long minus two is greater than zero, right, or greater than equal to zero, then we do that, else we do zero, right? Oh, so that's the same as taking the minimum of that, sorry, the maximum of this and zero, right? The bigger one, max of, there we go, right? So it's the same as doing that. The same thing we do for y and z. So copy that. Um, so we do the same thing for y and z, right? Um, so that's y dot size dot too long, and that's z dot size dot too long. Okay. X times y times z, basically, right? That gives us the cube count inside the particular region. It excludes the edges. Now, at the end of it, we have to do internal count equals that, right? Now, what we have to do is mm, edge vertices as such. Mm, wait, by the way, is the debugger stopped? No, it's not. Okay, let's stop the debugger. Var uh, edge vertices equals mutable set of um, a triple of int int int, right? And now what we want to do is for cube or for region in region side, we kind of want to add each of those, right? So mm, how do you generate all the edges, as it were? Edges and corner nodes. So you keep y and z um, constant, loop over x, or no. Yes, maybe, sort of. So it's like, hmm. So it's like you'll have to consider along one of the axes. So it's like for, yeah, for x you'll have to consider all of the points along, like if you're looping over x, you have to keep y and z constant, but y and z will have to be first the beginning of the range and then the end of the range for each region, right? So how do you write this? How do you write this? And so that will give you, so we need like 12 edges basically, right? So it's like every cube will have like 12 edges. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, yeah, 9 10 11 12, yeah, they'll have 12 edges, every cuboid, every region, right? So we need to take all the points and sort of put them in a set, and then we need to add that count. So we need to run internal count plus edge vertices dot size is what I'm thinking. So for every region, mm, right, edge vertices plus equal to triple x region dot y dot first, region dot z dot first, right? And okay, there we go. Yeah, so we'll have to do that 4 times, and it'll be first, last. I know there's probably a way to automate this, but honestly, I'm fine, right? So last, last here, right? So this gives us, yes. Does that make sense? Right, first, 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 last, last, first, last, last. So we have this, and similarly, we do that for y in region dot y, right? Um, Kind of want to copy paste that, except what we're going to do is plus equal to is fine. Uh, this is going to be region dot x dot first, or yeah, region dot x dot first, which we will switch around. So first, last, first, last. So that's going to be first, first, last, last, right? Last, last. And this is just going to be y, which we can do by doing this and then moving it here and deleting that and putting y. Honestly, very hacky. I hate this, but yeah, I'm kind of in a bind. Hopefully this works. Now, it'll suck if this doesn't work. Um, because all we are doing is at the end of it, we are getting the internal cube count, right? And then we are just adding up all the stuff along the edges. Yeah, this should work. This should work. This should work. Shouldn't be a problem. Uh, let's copy paste that again here. And now we want to take y as this stuff. So first, first, last, last. First, last should go into y, right? So let's copy this entire thing. Region.y dot. Let's copy that. Put that here. Um, okay, so let's leave that there. And okay, so this control X that. Put that here. And this whole thing just easy. Cool. First, 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 last, last, first, last, last. First, 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 last, last, first, last, last. First, 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 last, last, first, last, last. Okay, cool. X, Z, Y, that's all correct. The positioning is correct. Okay. So we've added all these, and since it's a set, it will take care of duplicates for us. And then finally, we need to return edge count. Oh, this doesn't have to be a var, it can be a val, right? You can use a mutable set, right? So return internal count, sorry, internal count plus edge vertices dot size. There we go. And hopefully this should be right. Um, let's run this test and see what happens. It still failed. Now it's a bit too small, actually. Whoops. 1 second. That's a friend of mine. Give me one moment. I'll be right back. Hey. Okay, my friend just arrived. I'll have to leave a little bit earlier than expected. Apparently, there's a lot of traffic. Okay. I'm not sure why this is still incorrect. There's potentially something else that we're doing wrong. The answer is a lot closer to what we expected. It's still, yeah, this is like kind of incorrect, right? Yeah, it's a lot closer to what we expected. Why is it called a segmentation fault? That has to do with how memory is. That essentially has to do with how memory is stored. You have git commit, git push, git out. Yeah, I know. Let's do that. Let's actually commit that. So git status, mm, git add dot, git commit hyphen m wip day 22. Um, git push. All right, cool. Let's do that. Um, I don't know what actually is the error at this point. It is we do have something that's going wrong, very wrong. Um, yeah, I need to figure out what that is because like okay. I'll stop thinking about it for now. I will catch you guys in the next stream, which will be tomorrow, which will be I don't know, 11 or 12 we will start, 11 or 12 we will end, right? It's gonna be a 12-hour stream and hopefully I will be able to solve all of the questions. Unfortunately, that now includes 22, which makes it yeah, it's going to be staggering. It's going to be staggering. We might not actually end up solving all the way till 24, but whatever's left over, we will have not an equally long stream, but also still a relatively long stream on the 25th, and that's basically where we will um, solve the rest of the questions. But I do aim to finish all 25 by 25th, which should be day after tomorrow. Cool. So since I'm free tomorrow and day after for, pretty much the entirety of both days, we should be able to get that done. All right, cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong yet in this question, but we will solve this. We will not give up. All right, cool. See you guys. Bye bye.